So over the past few weeks, I've had a ton of requests to make an amber turd. Now I've got to be honest, I had no idea what an amber turd was. I assumed it was something like the mosquito in amber from Jurassic Park.
This fossilized tree sap, which we call amber.
Now because I had no clue as to what it was, I googled it, and boy, wasn't that a mistake. But now that I know what it is, let's get started. So the first step in making this turd egg is to 3D print myself a turd. Well, as you just saw, I printed my turd in 2 halves, but I've now glued them together so I've got one solid turd. You'll also notice that I've sprayed it with some primer. That's to get it ready for the next step, making the silicone mould. The silicone I'm using is a 2-part silicone, mixed at a ratio of 1:1. So now that our silicone's all nice and set, let's see if we can push this turd out. Oh, it's coming. There we have it. We've got our turd mould. Well, it's now time to mix up some resin. I'm going to pour myself a clear base layer inside this cup. Then I'm going to add some of this amber dye and pour ourselves a turd. The resin I'm using is an epoxy resin, mixed at a ratio of 3:1. Always make sure you scrape your sides and your bottom, that way you don't get any soft spots. I've added in 6 drops because I want this to be quite dark. Now I'm just going to go pop these in the pressure pot. Now I'm not going to run pot cam for this one, I'll wait until we pour our top layer. And don't worry about my leftovers, because you guys know what I do with them. Well, now that we've got an amber turd, it's time to cast it. But before doing that, I just want to give it a black wash. I want to highlight a few of these cracks and crevices, and then once that's done, we'll be able to glue the turd down to our base layer and pour the resin over the top. Well, it looks like we've got a good casting. All we have to do now is glue on my waste block, and then we can turn this piece of So now that we've got our egg shape, it's time to start sanding. But I won't be sanding on this lathe, I'm going to take it to my other lathe, because we're going to make a big sloppy mess. Now that I've finished sanding, it's time to see if we can polish this turd. Well, if you made it this far into the video, you must really want to see this piece of crap. Or you're just one of my loyal subscribers. Either way, I'm glad you're here. Now I'd like to ask a small favour. If you like this video, let the YouTube algorithm know by leaving a like or a comment. Or even better, share this video with someone who enjoys a good laugh. Now one other thing before we check it out, I will be putting this turd in my Etsy store, just in case someone wants it. Now let's check it out.